Let's chat with one of the up-and-coming defensive stars in the league. You hear him with Joe and Evan all the time. First time I think he's been on, maybe once before he was a pro. I'm not sure. Muhammad Wilkerson joins us now. Muhammad, welcome. How are you? Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And we'll get to why he comes. Everybody's got a hook there in the Super Bowl. This is a new one. I haven't heard of this one. We'll get to this one in a minute. But how you doing? How's everything?
Everything's good. How about yourself?
Good, thanks. You know, the Pro Bowl's become – now, making the team is a big deal contract-wise and everything else, big deal historically, because it shouldn't play into anybody getting in the Hall of Fame, but it's still – people still list how many times you make the Pro Bowl, how many times you make All-Pro. But the game has become such a ridiculous game, especially for defenders now. I mean, it's a silly game. I mean, there's no grounding, there's no this, there's no that, you can't touch the quarterback. It's not fun to go there as a defensive lineman anymore, right?
Well, I think I watched the game the other day, and it seemed like they're getting after it now. You know, past few years they've been, a little soft with it, but I think they're changing it up again. Yeah,
but I mean, so you'd still like to, early in your career, you still like to go a couple times. Right? Now, making the team is a good thing. I mean, we all understand all the ramifications. But you still like to go play in one of those games, or does it matter?
I would like to play in it.
Yeah,
I would like to play in it and get that, get to play in the atmosphere, see how everything is, and enjoy some family time out in Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii's not bad. That's a good reason to go, as a matter of fact. What'd you take from this season?
It's a lot of ups and downs as a team, and a lot of things I can learn from, and as well as my teammates, and to better ourselves as a better team next year.
How important were the last two games?
Oh, they were real important.
Not just to keep the coach, but how about for the psyche of the team?
It was real important for us to get 2 wins. We felt happy that we got 2 wins in a row, which is something we haven't done all season, and that was a good way to finish the season. Also, ruining Miami's chances of making it to the playoff.
The sons of whatever you guys are going to wind up with, anarchy or whatever the heck you're going to wind up, it doesn't matter what it is. What it is 3 guys who can play is what it is, right? I mean, that's really what it is.
Definitely is, and we get our best learning from Coach Dunbar, who's back, on the coaching staff, and we're glad to have him, and all the rest of the coaches back.
What did you learn that you didn't know when you came into the NFL? What trick did you learn this year that you were surprised about? What surprised you about the league, if anything?
Really, just the film study of how you can really break down your opponent and really know their tendencies, and come game time, it makes it that much easier. But learning that from Coach Dunbar, that helped me out a lot.
How many years do you think it takes to become a real seasoned, really top defensive lineman in this league?
I can't get a time on it, but I just always, myself individually, I just tell myself, I can get better each and every year, develop, my game some way, somehow.
What's like in this off season? What are the things you want to work on for next year?
My conditioning and more so my hands, using my hands, having active hands.
It's changed. They taught guys, everyone's to strip the ball. I mean, that's been the last 10 years. Not go in there and get the ball. Go in there and strip the ball. Now you have that, and now you have the idea that you got to make sure your helmet doesn't somehow hit the quarterback's helmet. That is a big deal now, because you're getting flagged if you. It doesn't matter if it's him turning back into you, as we saw this year. We saw a quarterback turn back into a defensive lineman, hit his helmet, and they flagged the defensive lineman. So that's got to be something you're very conscious of now, right?
For myself, I'm not worried about that. I play the game the way I'm taught growing up, and that's the way I'm going to continue to play. And if I get fined or get a penalty, so be it. But I'm just going to always play the game that I was taught. So no changes at all in helmet technique or tackling technique at all? No, I mean, I was always brought up and taught the right way to tackle. Right. But, if it was a so-so call, I'm not going to hang my head on it, and I'm just keep playing ball.
All right. You look at this game now. You have the Seattle defense, and obviously great in the secondary. Pretty good up front, but really great in the secondary. And this Denver offense, which has the great quarterback, but also has an offensive line that hasn't let anybody touch him in 2 weeks. They haven't gotten near him. His uniform's been clean as a whistle for 2 games. Size it up for me right now. The Seattle defense, and the Denver offense. Can Seattle get a 4-man pass rush on Denver?
I think they can.
You think they can?
I think they can.
Okay.
I am not going to say they're going to get to him multiple times, but I think they might get to him about 1 or 2 times.
So you figure they're going to have to do some blitzing?
Possibly.
A-gap stuff? I mean, really, that's where you want to come from?
You come from the middle. Everybody knows Peyton is not a guy who's going to run.
He's not going to move. You want to get him off his mark, too, right?
Yeah.
You want to get – is it more you want to get him off his mark, or you want to get him to bring the ball down? Which one?
You want to get him off his mark. One thing with Peyton, quarterbacks who don't really run like Tom Brady, you want to get them off their mark and get them uncomfortable. Once they got to move try to throw and run, that's where they're not so much comfortable.
Is it the same with Brady? It's always he doesn't like people say he can't step forward. He likes to have that space in front so he can step up, right?
Right.
You guys try to get that space congested. Same thing for Manning or something different for him?
Same thing for Manning. Like I said, you want to get them off their mark, get them uncomfortable. Try to get, hits on them, make them feel uncomfortable.
What do you think is the key for that Seattle defense? What does Seattle defense have to do to win the game?
I think defense wise, you got to set the tone. Come out, try to make plays the best you can, get 3 and outs, get off the field, and let your offense, have some fun out there.
Now, how about the Denver defense going up against a guy like Marshawn Lynch?
I think definitely got to stop the run. They got a great guy in Terrence Knight who I played college ball with, so definitely got to stop the run.
So Pot Roast is your buddy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now, you know him. He's kind of come to the fore here. You surprised how much attention he's getting now? Did you always know he'd be this kind of player?
I always knew he was talented, and I think that he's just being at Denver, that was just the right move for him. He was down in Jacksonville and, really didn't play too well, but he's, coming on the stage now in Denver, so I think that was just great. They had a new change of scenery, and he's playing some great ball now.
Made some big plays in that game against Tom Brady.
Got the 4th down
big sack on 4th and 2. Very big play in the game. And also, they played for a team that people said wasn't any good defensively, and we all said it because they hadn't been. They played pretty good against the running game for New England.
I think so. I think they played well playing their gaps, and I'm looking forward to a great game on.
So who do you think? You got one team over the other? You think it's dead even? Who do you think wins the game?
I got to go with Denver.
You think so?
Yeah, I got to go with Denver.
Is Manning tougher for a defense than the other guys? Is he a little more cerebral at the line of scrimmage, or is it overrated?
I can just go by from what I heard. I never played.
I know you
never played against him, but from what I hear, I hear it's difficult playing against him.
Okay, how'd you find it playing against Brady?
Early years, just finding out, he's really an elite quarterback. The way he can really pick you apart. But he's an elite player, and I get to see him, 2 times a year, so.